Geneva Bible, made in 1599, predates the King James. I'm going to read from beginning to end. It is the closest scriptures to the Old Text, I believe. Now, very, very interesting. So, just going to read. Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void. And darkness was upon the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light that it was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. And God called the light day. And the darkness he called night. So the evening and the morning were the first day. Again, God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." Then God made the firmament and separated the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. So the evening and the morning were the second day. God said again, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered into one place, and let the dry land appear," and it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and he called the gathering together of the waters seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the earth bud forth the bud of the herb, that seedeth seed, the fruitful tree, which beareth fruit according to its kind, which hath his seed in itself upon the earth," and it was so. And the earth brought forth the kind of the herb that seedeth seed according to his kind. Also the tree that beareth fruit, which hath his seed in itself according to its kind, and God saw that it was good. So the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven, to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth." And it was so. God then made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He also made the stars. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to shine upon the earth, and to rule in the day and in the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. So the evening and the morning were the fourth day. Afterward, God said, "Let the waters bring forth in abundance every creeping thing that hath life, and let the fowl fly upon the earth in the open firmament of the heaven." Then God created the great whales and every living thing moving, and the waters brought forth in abundance according to their kind, and every feathered fowl according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God blessed them, saying, "Bring forth fruit and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the fowl multiply in the earth." So the evening and the heaven were the fifth day. Moreover, God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living thing according to his kind, cattle and that which creepeth, and the beast of the earth according to his kind." And it was so. And God made the beast of the earth according to his kind, and the cattle according to his kind, and every creeping thing of the earth according to his kind. And God saw that it was good. Furthermore, God said, "Let us make man in our image according to our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the heaven, and over the beasts, and over all the earth, and over everything that creepeth and moveth on the earth." Thus God created the man in his image. In the image of God he created. In the image of God created he him. He created them male and female. And God blessed them, and God said to them, bring forth fruit and multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and rule over it. Rule over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the heaven, and over every beast that moveth upon the earth. And God said, behold, I have given unto you every herb bearing seed, which is upon all the earth, and every tree, wherein is the fruit of a tree bearing seed, that shall be to you for meat. Likewise to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the heaven, and to everything that moveth upon the earth, which hath life in it in itself. Every green herb shall be for meat. And it was so. And God saw that all he had made, and lo, it was very good. So the heaven and the morning were the sixth day. Genesis chapter 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And all the host of them. For in the seventh day God ended his work which he had made. And the seventh day he rested from all his work which he had made. So God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all of his work which God created and made. These are the generations of the heaven and of the earth, where they were created in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. And every plant in the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew, for the earth, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, neither was there a man to till the ground. But a mist went up from the heaven and watered all the earth. The Lord God also made the man of the dust of the ground, and breathed in his face breath of life. And the man was a living soul. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put man whom he had made. Parentheses, for out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree present to the sight and good for meat, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Okay. And out of Eden went a river to water the garden, and from thence it was divided and became into 4 heads. The name of one is Pishon, the same compasseth the whole land of Havia, where is gold. And the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same compasseth the whole land of Cush. And the name of the third river is Hikkitel, that goeth toward the east side of Ashur. And the fourth river is Para. Then the Lord God took the man and put him into the garden of Eden, that he may dress it and keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, thou shalt eat freely of every tree of the garden, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest therefore thou shalt die the death. Also the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be himself alone. I will make him in help meet for him. So the Lord God formed of the earth every beast of the field and every fowl of the heaven, and brought them unto the man to see how he would call them. For howsoever the man named the living creature, so was the name thereof. The man therefore gave names unto all cattle, and to the fowl of the heaven, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam he found he not an helper meet for him. Therefore the Lord God caused a heavy sleep to fall upon the man, and as he slept, and God took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from the man, he made a woman and brought her to the man. Then he said, this now is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of the man. Therefore shall man leave his father and his mother and shall cleave to his wife. And they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and they were not ashamed. Okay? Genesis chapter 3. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God made, and he said to the woman, Yea, hath God indeed said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, We eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, ye shall die. Then the serpent said to the woman, Ye shall not die at all. But God doth know that when ye shall eat thereof, your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. So the woman, seeing that the tree was good for meat, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to get knowledge, took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also to her husband with her, and he did eat. Then the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves breeches. Afterward they heard the voice of the Lord walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And the man and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. But the Lord God called unto the man and said unto him, Where art thou? Who said, I heard my voice in the garden and was afraid, because I was naked, therefore I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldn't not eat? Then the man said, The woman which thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord God said to the woman, Why hast thou done this? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Then the Lord God said to the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed upon all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly thou shalt go, and the dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. I will also put enmity between thee and the woman, and between my seed and her seed, between thy seed and her seed. He shall break thine head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly increase thy sorrows and thy conceptions. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be subject to thine husband, and he shall rule over thee. Also to Adam he said, Because thou hast obeyed the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the earth for thy sake, and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all of the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return to the earth. For out of it wast thou taken, because art thou dust, and to dust shalt thou return. And the man called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also and to his wife did the Lord God make coats of skin and clothe them. And the Lord God said, Behold, the man is now become one of us, to know good and evil. Get it? And now lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the earth whence he was taken. Thus he cast out the man, and at the east side out of the Garden of Eden he set up cherubims, angels, and the blade of the sword shaken to keep the way of the tree of life. Genesis chapter 4. Afterward, the man Afterward, the man knew Eve, his wife, which conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have obtained a man by the Lord. And again she brought forth his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of the sheep, and Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought an oblation unto the Lord of the fruit of the ground. And Abel also himself brought for the first fruits of his sheep, and of the fat of them. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had no regard. Wherefore Cain was exceedingly wroth, and his countenance fell down. Then the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance cast down? If thou do well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou dost not well, sin lieth at the door. Also unto thee his desire shall be subject, and thou shalt rule over him. Then Cain spake unto Abel his brother, and when they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother Abel and slew him. Then the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? Who answered, I cannot tell, am I my brother's keeper? Again he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the earth. Now therefore thou art cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thine hand. Okay, when thou shalt till the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A vagabond and a renegade shall thou be in the earth. Then Cain said to the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast cast me out from this day from the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and shall be a vagabond and a renegade in the earth. And whoever fighteth me shall slay me. Then the Lord said unto him, Doubtless whoever so slayeth Cain, he shall be punished sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any man finding him should kill him. Then Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod, toward the east side of Eden. Cain also knew his wife, which conceived and bore Enoch. And he built a city, and called the name of the city by the name of his son Enoch. And to Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begat Mehuel, and Mehuel begat Methuselah, and Methuselah begat Lamech, and Lamech took him 2 wives. The name of the one was Ada, and the name of the other Zia. And the Ada bore Jabal, who was the father of such as dwell in the tents, and of such as have cattle. And his brother's name was Jubal, who was the father of all that play on the harp and organs. And Zia also bore Tubal-Cain, who wrought cunningly every craft of brass and of iron, and the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. Then Lamech said unto his wives Adah and Zia, Hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I would slay a man in my wound. For I would slay a man in my wound, and a young man to mine hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 times sevenfold. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and he called his name Seth. For God said, She hath appointed me another seed for Abel, because Cain slew him. And to the name Seth also there was born a son, and he called his name Enosh. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord. Chapter 5, Genesis chapter 5. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created Adam, in the likeness of God made him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name. Adam, in the day that they were created, now Adam lived 130 years and begat a child in his own likeness after his own image, and called his name Seth. Now Adam lived And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years. And he begat sons and daughters. So all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Seth lived 105 years and begot Enosh. And Seth lived after he begot Enosh 807 years and begot sons and daughters. So all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. Also Enosh lived 90 years and begat Canaan. And Enosh lived after he begat Canaan 815 years and begat sons and daughters. So all the days of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. Likewise, Canaan lived 70 years and begat Mahalalel. And Canaan lived after he begot Mahalalel 840 years and begat sons and daughters. So all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. Mahalalel also lived 65 years and begat Jared. Also Mahalalel lived after he begat Jared 830 years and begat sons and daughters. So all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And Jared lived in 160 and 2 years and begot Enoch. Then Jared lived, and after he begot Enoch 800 years and begot sons and daughters. So all the days of Jared were 960 and 2 years, and he died. Also Enoch lived 65 years and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years and begot sons and daughters. So all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God. After he begot Methuselah 300 years and begot sons and daughters. So all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was no more seen, for God took him away. Methuselah also lived 187 years and begat Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begot Lamech 780 and 2 years and begot sons and daughters. So all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. Then Lamech lived 182 years and begat a son, and called his name Noah, saying, This same shall comfort us concerning our work and sorrow of our hands, as touching the earth, which the Lord hath cursed. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years and begat sons and daughters. So all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old when Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay, so that's the end of Genesis chapters 1 through 5 of the Geneva 1599 Bible. I just think it's a much better translation than most others. It's as close as you can get. So, excuse my breathing here. I'm at 12,000 feet in beautiful Cusco. I wish I could have a better view of where I am. Let me just show you guys real quick, whoever's hanging on here. Yeah, beautiful day here. Yeah, so I love it here. Yeah, they're already playing music, and thanks for the day. Anyway, peace. Have a good day. Blessings to you.